Hello guys, my name is Alex from Investary and Investary Group, and this is our stock pick number one choice of 2013, and we believe this stock is going to be, this company is going to have tremendous growth for the future. So back several weeks ago I talked about, essentially we made a video on a preview of what company we were talking about, and some of you have guessed what the company was, as it wasn't that surprising, but the company is Tesla Motors. So over the course of the next 15 minutes I want to talk about Tesla and essentially the facts for it, what is Tesla Motors, the basic knowledge of the electric vehicle industry, looking at their product line, and just a rundown of their earnings, and basically what the analysts think of this company. Now I also want to do analysis on my part why I think this is a very attractive investment for the future, and basically analyze the company as a whole. But my time is going to be limited, so I will try to go fast on the facts. The background of it is pretty simple. It's been a public company since 2010, and it's a very new startup, you can think of it as. It's run by a very visionary CEO, Elon Musk. You can search more about him on Google or something. But what I want to... Alright, so that's that. Now I want to talk about the basic facts of Tesla. The market cap is around $4 billion right now, listed on the Nasdaq for less than 3 years, and as you can see, since their IPO, they have had tremendous success. They have yet to turn a profit, but the CEO is saying that they will be turning a profit in the first quarter of this year. The first car was the Tesla Roadster. That was a very high luxury consumer product, and they're making that production has actually ended. They're gearing more towards the more middle to upper class audience. So how does a Tesla work, or a electric vehicle for that matter? So the difference between a standard car that uses gasoline, which most people have, and an electric vehicle is looking at how much energy efficient you can get. For a Tesla or electrical vehicle, you can charge it for several hours and run a course of a very long time. Now for gasoline, you pump it for maybe several minutes, but depending on how many miles per gallon, but it isn't very energy efficient. Both vehicles still use an internal combustion engine, but the fact with the electric vehicle is instead of using a fuel powered, as you can see in this picture, it is battery powered. Now there are concerns on how battery powered vehicles actually work and the change of it, how reliable it can be doing climate changes, things such as that. And there's there's many types of batteries that can be used, but the most is the lead acid as well as the lithium ion. The lithium ion is essentially the same as what's running on your computers and laptops, but it's just much more powerful the way that Tesla uses the lithium ions. Now the production line is pretty simple. Two vehicles right now. One is the Model S, which they are in production right now and expected to deliver continuing from last year to this year. Model X is not in production, but we'll talk more about the details of it. And how they actually run or place orders is on reservations, because they don't have the product in hand ready to give to the car owner. So you can make a reservation online or in stores for $5,000 refundable payment. And from an electrical vehicle, the federal government gives a $7,500 tax credit annually, which is another benefit for Tesla. And from the Model S, basically it depends on the battery option that you choose. Obviously the higher power the battery is, it lasts longer, more, it can get more out of the charge, and these are basically the base price for the vehicles. As you can see, they're very basic. There's usually package deals that are added onto the cost of these. As we'll talk more about the features in the next slide here. So the Model S has many features, touchscreen, and you know, there's a lot of interesting technology that's added to this touchscreen feature. It is a sedan, and the range of it depends for the charge depends on the weather condition, as long as and where you're driving, local or on the highway. You can get about 200 to 350 miles depending on that. And you know, they have a battery warranty and many upgrades to this Model S. And this product right now is in production. And as you can see on this side, this picture right here that's gotten from the Tesla website, you can see that the speed of the vehicle is very, very fast for a sedan, and it's even about almost as fast as a Porsche. The Model X is not in production, but they have recently unveiled this product. It is a minivan, and you can watch the video in a later video that I'll post it in the description below of Tesla unveiling that vehicle, and they talk more into detail about the product. They are taking the reservations now, but the pricing is still unknown, although it is going to probably be a bit on the low end, trying to be in the 50,000s is my guess, on because their audience is trying to be more towards the middle and upper class level. Now the deliveries are going to be starting in 2014, so the production is going to be ramping up very shortly. Obviously, with a company like Tesla, there's a lot of competition from traditional car manufacturers trying to meet their goals, as well as the electrical vehicle companies and new electrical vehicle companies that are starting up because they see the opportunity in this industry. And Tesla is the only public vehicle manufacturer in the market right now, and you want to keep in mind that the electrical vehicle industry is very high barrier of entry because of the fact of the research and development that's put into such a product, as well as how much money needs to be spent on manufacturing is very big. And Tesla have shown that, you know, they have performed really well. They have the Tesla Model S has received the Automobile of the Year for 2013, and they are showing that they can differentiate themselves from competition. And obviously, there are risk factors of this company, especially with the supply and demand imbalance that can happen. Obviously, the demand is very well, according to the company. There are disruptions with supply, and if there's some recalls with the rapid production that they're going at right now, that can, you know, have some effects. And then negative publicity, which I will be talking about right after this. But you can just see that there are risk factors involved. People may delay their or cancel their reservations, and this is a very volatile industry, and it can very depend on the economic factors of the economy as a whole. So the biggest news in the past or recently is the New York Times article that John Broder basically wrote, and I won't get into the details of it because there's not much really to say. It's just a back and forth argument talking about the flaws of the company, and then Elon Musk basically fires back because of this negative publicity, and he even said that the company took about $100 million market cap off because of this article. But Broder just addresses his arguments one by one. You can read all of the information on I'll put it in the description below, so you can check it all out to look at it more in detail. But there are some fair arguments on both sides, New York Times and Tesla. So why is this important is because, again, Tesla's reputation is pretty volatile, especially if you have some peace that's talking negatively on such a wide market span, and it really brings to attention of whether the product is really ready for the general market. And obviously Tesla's side is yes, they have really perfected this Model S vehicle, but others say otherwise. And there's obviously issues that the company needs to address from this article, but that is why this was an important deal. Now I really want to talk about the earnings, because this is really important. The earnings that was reported just last week, I believe that it was not as bad as what people think, but I will give the details of it first, and I want to highlight some points on this. So it was a bigger loss than what Wall Street expectations were. Mainly, the company says it's from just more money spent on their production line to make the production faster. The guidance is much better than expected, though. They are looking to see profitability in the first quarter of this year rather than in the fourth quarter. And from here, you can see what the big, basically what you can see is, okay, the cash flow, how much they're spending in R&D, things such as that. But the one thing I want to highlight is the production is 20,000 annual production rate is where they're targeting, and that's something they really want to focus on, with 400 vehicles a week. Now, we don't know exactly how much that will, if they can reach that potential and still have a very efficient and a very quality product without any snags during the process. They were still working on many delivery strategies to deliver the product, but one thing that they said is that the demand is increasing. They have 6,000 new reservations in Q4, and the cancellations has increased, but that is a reason why the stock did decline, because of the earnings highlights. But this part right here was what most people were worried about. Alright, so now with that, I want to move on more about it. So 20,000 is where they're targeting for this year. Expansion to European and Asian countries is going to be really big, and I'll talk more about the expansion later. And essentially, they want to spend less this year to make sure that they don't, have another negative quarter, and that's going to help their profitability much better. So expansion, this is the biggest thing I want to talk about, and this is because the sales is essentially really, really big in the potential in Asia and Europe is big, especially China. They are looking to marketing into the company or market into these countries, and they want to double their stores to let the company be more well known, increase their network for the supercharger, obviously, because most of their superchargers are on the East Coast, and ramp up those sales for the Model X and later the Blue Star. So here is the SuperCharger Network from their website and where it is now. They're trying to expand to this much over the course of the next 2 years. And I'm sort of running out of time here, but there's their service centers that they have, and the company outlook for the future is essentially that they're looking to increase profitability as the quarters go, more options and availability for the cars, more stores, and more production. Wall Street sentiment right now is pretty good. You can see the chart here. Average target is $41.40. So what made this company stand out? And because I'm running out of time, I'm going to make this in a second video on basically our take on the company. So I'm going to leave a link in the description, and on the slide you can just click it, and we'll talk more about what we think about the company. And just we've covered everything from the facts part. We want to get more into the analysis, so we'll do that in the next video. So stay tuned.